A lot of Tennessee Titans fans are angry with what the Titans did on day 2 of the NFL draft, but I am here to tell you it was a great day for the Tennessee Titans, and I'll explain on today's edition of Locked On Titans.
You are Locked On Titans, your daily Tennessee Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Titans podcast. I am your host, Tyler Rowland. Titans fans, day 2 of the NFL draft has come and gone. The Tennessee Titans make a big trade. They add 2 players. I'm going to go over the trade, give you my grade, talk about the 2 players that the Tennessee Titans have added, and I'm going to tell you why I think these picks have more to do with 2026 than they do 2025, and that's the right way to approach things. And we'll take a look at who's still available because I think there are still some awesome players available at positions of need for the Tennessee Titans. Before we dive into it, I do want to thank you for making the Locked On Titans podcast your first listen each and every day. Remember, Monday through Friday, Tennessee Titans content all year round, always for free. Make sure that you get subscribed, stay subscribed. It's your team every day. Speaking of every day, shout out to my everydayers out there tuning in Monday through Friday and for the bonus episodes. Couldn't do it without you guys. If you aren't an everydayer, you need to be one because once we know who the Tennessee Titans pick, we're going to dive into each individual player, what their role can be with the team. So much to go over in the next few weeks. Make sure that you stay locked on to the Locked On Titans podcast. But with that being said, the Tennessee Titans start the day with a big-time trade. They move down from pick 35 to pick 52. They pick up pick 82 from the Seattle Seahawks, and I thought this was a great move for the Tennessee Titans. With where we saw the board at pick 35, it made so much sense for the Titans to say, hey, there are so many talents on the board. Why don't we drop back? And, of course, the Titans having an additional pick in the top 100 is something that we have all talked about and all pined for throughout the entire draft process. So the Titans finally take care of the move. They make the trade back. And, quite frankly, with what they were able to get, I think it was a good trade for the Tennessee Titans. I would give the move a B+ right now. I would have loved to not have dropped back as far as 50. But at the end of the day, I was sitting there looking, and I was looking at the draft board, and I was looking at who I thought the Tennessee Titans should be interested in. And other than Luther Burden, Donovan Ezaraku, Jaden Higgins, I mean, those were the only guys that came off the board before 52 that I was even honestly excited about the Tennessee Titans adding to the team. So I didn't really think the drop from 35 to 52 actually hurt the Titans all that much in terms of people that they could have went after. So overall, I think it was a good trade for the Titans, something that they needed to do. And then I like the picks. A lot of Tennessee Titans fans don't like the picks. I get it. I'm going to talk you off that ledge in just a moment. But to start, I mean, Femi Oladejo has been one of my favorite edge rushers in the class for quite some time. I thought he would be a 3rd-round pick. I thought he would be a day 2 option, though. The Titans got him at 50 a little earlier than the 3rd round, but quite frankly, that's not that far off from what I was expecting. That it's not that far off, and he has so much potential. That's really my view here is both of the players that the Titans took have such high potential, but also because of their football character, they have a high floor. So Femi Oladejo is 6'3", 260 pounds. So he fits the mold of that big, physical power edge rusher that I've been telling you for months that I think the Tennessee Titans are favoring now. He doesn't have elite height at 6'5", but 260, tons of power in his hands. He's very sturdily built, very thick frame and thick arms and strong hands. This is a big physical power edge rusher who spent time as an off-ball linebacker for 3 years in college. He just in his last year of college football got moved to be an edge rusher. So there is so much potential here on top of the solid, powerful run defender that he already is and the versatile chess piece that he already is. Because he was a former off-ball linebacker, he can drop into coverage. Also, on his tape and his packages that I've put together of his tape stuff, he's a guy who's lined up over the center as a linebacker and then shifted and done twists and stunts. Like, he's such a versatile player with his size, his explosion, his potential. Again, very high floor because he's a high character player who loves football, who's already a good physical run defender. But if he can continue to refine his game as a pass rusher, now that he can be a full-time edge rusher, we're talking about a guy with star potential. This could be a star-level edge rusher, maybe not Myles Garrett-level player, but this is a guy who could absolutely be just as good as the best version of Harold Landry, if not better. And then the second pick is Kevin Winston, the safety, out of Penn State. 6'1", 215 pounds. Elite length with his arms and his wingspan. We are talking about an elite athletic profile with the size and the length. And then you add in the fact that he ran a 4.5 40. So he has that level of size at the safety position with that level of speed, and he ran a 4.5 40 coming off an ACL tear. Kevin Winston tore his ACL during the season, early in the college football season, and he has progressed so well so far that he ran a 40-yard dash a couple weeks ago at Penn State's Pro Day. Do not give me, the ACL, he's blah, blah, blah. This is a guy who just ran a 40-yard dash a couple weeks ago. He is going to be fine. He is going to be ready to go. If you have Kevin Winston as your third safety, who can be a physical run defender, and you can allow him to develop slowly in terms of reading route concepts, understanding spatial awareness, understanding where to sit in his zone. If he can improve in the mental aspects of pass coverage while he plays the third safety role for the Titans in his rookie year, that is ideal to me. Nick Saban said that Kevin Winston would have been a first-round pick if he would have been healthy and played his whole college career. That's what level of talent you're getting. And with the high floor of his run defense, now you're getting a guy with a good floor, can be a solid contributor, but also has the ability to be a star safety for you because of his length and his traits. So Winston is a physical run defender. He is a safety that is absolutely going to blow you up coming downhill. He never misses tackles. I'm telling you guys, he is an elite run defender when he's out on the field. Like, physicality sets the tone for the defense, the speed, the agility. He's moving all over the field. He is a movable chess piece. I think he could be a guy who gets used similarly to like a Kyle Hamilton. I think he has that level of ability. Now, you're going to bring him along slowly off the ACL, let him get acquainted mentally with what he's being asked to do in coverage. But, again, I think you look at Femi Oladejo, you look at Kevin Winston, and these are both guys who they may not give you the highest level of value in 2025, but they have the potential to be stars for you and culture setters going forward in 2026 in the future, which is what I think this draft was really about. And I'm going to go into my larger philosophy on this draft so far and why I think, again, something that I have been preaching to you guys for weeks, for months now. Keep an open mind on day two. The Titans don't have to force their needs. They're a bad team. They're a rebuilding team. They're not going to try to microwave this thing like Rand Carthon did last offseason. They're going to take players who may be better for the team later. Quit thinking about 2025. This team went 3-14 last year. They're not all of a sudden going to overnight turn into a great team. It's not going to happen. They are building for the future. They are baking this in the oven. They are doing it slowly and taking high floor, high character guys with elite potential, maybe not elite potential, but star potential. That's exactly what they should be doing. And I'll break it down more. Do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by that Amazon Fire TV stick. Did you know that your Fire TV is also an Xbox? You could turn any TV into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe, or sign into Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to go. You can dive into hundreds of premium titles like EA Sports, College Football 25, or Call of Duty. I mean, think about it. You don't have to lug around your Xbox anymore. You could just bring a Fire TV Stick 4K device. And then not only do you have your Xbox games, but you have Netflix, you have YouTube, anything that you want to stream. Make sure that you head to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available on select devices, including Fire TV Stick 4K 2nd Gen, Fire TV Stick 4K Max 1st and 2nd Gen, and Fire TV Cube 3rd Gen. Titans fans, let's continue today's Day 2 recap edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. We talked about Femi Oladejo as a prospect. Again, really like Femi as a developmental prospect with a high floor because of his football character and his physicality. Really like the pick of Kevin Winston. That is high upside star potential safety at pick number 82. Hard to find guys with that kind of talent at that spot in the draft. So overall, again, I like both these prospects. I love what the Titans have done on day 2 here because I am not thinking only about 2025. If your primary thought is the Tennessee Titans need to win as many games as possible in 2025 to make me happy on Sundays, then I get it. You're going to be upset. You're going to say, oh, we took a developmental edge that was an off-ball linebacker for most of his college career. That's not going to help us much this year. He needs a lot of development. Oh, we took a safety who isn't good in pass coverage, who is coming off a torn ACL. How's that going to help us in 2025? If that's your mindset, we need a wide receiver. How could they not get Cam Ward a wide receiver? If that's your mindset, then yeah, you're going to be frustrated with what the Titans have done on day 2 here. You're going to say, why didn't they take Luther Burden? Why didn't they take Mike Green? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Why did they pass on guys? Why did they pass on Higgins and Kyle Williams and all these guys to take a developmental edge and a safety coming off an ACL? I can already hear the casual fans saying, why are they doing this? This is a terrible draft. These guys are bozos. It's already all over my socials. And I'm just going to continue to hammer this point home to you guys until you understand. The Titans are not drafting to make the team as good as possible in 2025. That is not what they are doing. They are trying to make the team a sustainable winner going forward. They're trying to set a culture in the locker room and set a foundation for the new era of Tennessee Titans football. That's what the Titans are trying to do. And they have done that. They have done that with these 2 players, in my opinion. I like both of these guys a ton. Are they home run picks? Is this... I said it on my little short video that you guys probably saw, but I'll say it again. Is this the steak dinner draft? Is this, the 16-ounce T-bone with the loaded baked potato, the honey glazed carrots, the tiramisu dessert, the high-end wine pairing? Is that what this draft is? No, it's not. This is beef stew, baby. We got a really nice cut of chuck roast. We got a really, really nice cut. Good marbling, all of that. And then we got some potatoes. We got some raw carrots. We got an onion. We're going to throw some beef stock in there. Just hearty, filling, set that foundation. All right? But what I would tell you with pot roast is, if you make it with enough high-end ingredients, again, you get a nice cut of beef. Make it with some good ingredients. Add a little red wine in there for some extra flavor. Deglaze after you sear the meat. We can turn beef stew. We could turn that into a high-end dish. All right? It just takes a little time. You got to let it come together slowly in the pot, everybody. Listen, I get it. I understand. Some of these players that people get attached to, Kyle Williams, I still think there are a ton of good wide receivers available. So when I look at what the Titans have done, getting high floor, high football character guys that are going to help establish a culture, who also happen to have high-end star potential. Maybe they won't be the best players in the league, but I think they could be star-level players for the Titans, some of the best players on the team. You get all of that together in a package, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to be mad. I kept telling you, Have an open mind on day 2. I don't think that the Titans are going to do wide receiver edge exactly like you like. They could take one of those on day 2, and then they'll probably throw in something else, an interior offensive lineman, a tight end, a running back, a safety, a corner, something like that. I have preached and preached and preached. Be open-minded. The Titans are going to take best player available. They're not going to force their needs. They're a rebuilding team. They don't need to force their needs. They don't need to sew up every hole because they have to compete to maximum ability in 2025. It's a slow build, all right? And taking players who are going to be at their best in a year or two, I'm perfectly fine with that for the Titans because the Titans need to be at their best in a year or two. So I love what the Titans have done. It's the philosophy and the mindset that you have looking at what they've done that can affect how you feel about it. But for me, I'm a big fan, especially Kevin Winston, Femi Oladejo being one of my favorite prospects. Like, this is a really nice draft so far for me. And the thing is, there are still tons of good players available. Let's talk about some guys who are still available. And then at the end of the show, I'll talk about the Warren Moon, Cam Ward, New Jersey's type thing at the end of the show. But looking at some folks who are still available for the Tennessee Titans at the start. Remember, the Titans have 6 picks. They have 6 picks on day 3, and Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker just came out and said at the press conference they think that wide receiver and running back are some of the most stacked positions still in the draft. So the Titans are looking at wide receiver and running back, and they're saying, why would we have taken one of those guys at 82? Why would we have done that when there's still so many good players left? Think about who's still available. At wide receiver, Jalen Royals. There are people who cover the Tennessee Titans for work who were telling you they should take Jalen Royals at 35. And Jalen Royals is going to be available maybe at 103. Alec Ayo-Manor. I like Alec Ayo-Manor more than I like some of the guys who got drafted on day 2. I thought that Alec Ayo-Manor may be a second-round pick. He's still available. So if the Titans leave the draft, what if the Titans did this? What if the Titans took Alec Ayo-Manor at 103 and then took Xavier Restrepo at 120? How would you feel about what the Titans did at wide receiver in the draft then? Get Alec Ayo-Manor and get Xavier Restrepo with your next 2 picks. You got 6 picks. Again, Jalen Royals, Alec Ayo-Manor, Isaiah Bond. I know there's some legal stuff, but if the Titans feel comfortable with that, which apparently they don't want anything to do with any of these character concerned guys, which I get, but Isaiah Bond, in my opinion, you could look at Isaiah Bond and say, he's just as talented as Luther Burden. There were some people who thought that coming into the college football season. Like Torrey Horton out of Colorado State, great route runner, 6'2", good size. Again, Xavier Restrepo, Jalen Lane out of Virginia Tech, who also could be an excellent returner for the Titans, which we know they desperately need. There are still a ton of good wide receivers. Again, Jalen Royals and Alec Ayo-Manor are guys who some people consider day 2 picks anyway. So if you want to say that Titans got Femi Oladejo with 103 and took Alec Ayo-Manor or Jalen Royals with 52, you would feel like that was a great draft and exactly what we wanted. So I'm just saying, calm down. Calm down a little. The draft ain't over. They got 6 picks left. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think if the Titans left with a couple of these guys that we're talking about right now, I would be just as happy if they would have picked Kyle Williams or Savion Williams. How much of a difference are we talking about here? And then you look at tight end. I think the Titans could potentially, or let's go to running back. Like I said, running back, still one of the deepest talent positions left in the draft. Cam Skattebo, still available. Cam Skattebo. Dylan Sampson, Devin Neal, DJ Giddens, Jordan James, Damian Martinez, Jaquez Hunter, Ollie Gordon? What do there are so many playmakers that can help on offense still remaining. On the offensive line, Charles Grant, still there. A guy who the Titans were very, very interested in. They had a visit with him before the draft. We could still hit offensive line. Cam Williams out of Texas. I think Cam Williams would be a great fit for the Titans. Big, huge, 21-year-old guy with great talent who needs to develop, and he won't have to play. Braden Swinson. Braden Swinson was like my fourth or fifth favorite edge in the whole class, and he's still available. The Titans could double up at edge. I would love that at 103. Marcus Mbo on the interior offensive line, which I thought Marcus Mbo got picked, but it's still showing him on my list of best available, so maybe not. Miles Frazier from LSU on the interior offensive line. Jalen Rivers. I love these options. Chris Paul and Danny Stutzman at linebacker. Quincy Riley, Za Frazier, Denzel Burke at cornerback. They could go Joshua Farmer, Ty Robinson, Cam Jackson on the interior defensive line. Gunnar Helm, Jackson Halls, Thomas Findone at tight end. There are so many good options still on the board for the Tennessee Titans. Let's wait and see what they do. But regardless of that, I liked what the Titans have done on day 2. I think they've got 3 starters so far in this draft, and all 3 of them have potential to be star players. So you could be angry if you want, but I think your expectations, the reality with which you're looking at this draft through, is way too focused on 2025 and not focused on what the Titans are focused on, which is building a culture and building a team for the future. They know that they're not going to be world beaters in 2025. They had too far to go. So if you don't think that, and you think that they're going to be contenders in 2025 if they just would have drafted Luther Burden, then I don't know what to tell you. You're an irrational person who can't be reasoned with. Some men just want to see the world burn. But with that being said, someone who tried to make the world burn today was Warren Moon, who dropped a bomb during Titans media with Cam Ward. Do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Which players are going to show up in the biggest moments? And how could tracking their trends help you build your next bet? What would it look like to combine live prop bets mid-game based on how the action unfolds? Are you new to FanDuel? It's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Titans fans, let's cap off today's edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. It's a little day 2 draft recap. But look, we talked about the 2 picks the Tennessee Titans made in Femi Oladejo and Kevin Winston and what kind of players they are and the ups and downs of that. And we'll get more into that as the week unfolds next week. And I'm going to have full-on film breakdowns on both of those guys. Very excited to dive into that. Oladejo, I've already done a ton of film work on. So I'll probably, recycle some of that for you guys. But Winston, very excited to dive into him as a player and get a highlight tape and some film work going for you guys over the weekend, ready for next week. But talked about my philosophy on this draft and why I understand why people are upset, but I just don't think you're looking at this draft in the right way. Also talked about some players that still remain on the board. But now I want to talk about all the fireworks that happened before the draft even kicked off for the Titans. Number one, no pun intended, Warren Moon shows up at Cam Ward's introductory press conference with the Tennessee Titans with a number 1 jersey, hands it to him, officially passes the torch, and tells Cam Ward, "You can wear my number 1 jersey." It was an incredible moment. They took some great pictures. It was awesome seeing a franchise legend like that interacting with who we hope will be a franchise legend in Cam Ward. All of Cam Ward's answers were absolutely fantastic. I love what he had to say about switch vertical routes. said we ain't window shopping. He wants to attack downfield. I'm a gunslinger. I always will be. I just love the confidence from Cam Ward, and it's not a cockiness, it's a cool and calm and collected confidence that I really like about Cam Ward. He can fire up his guys if he needs to, but he's never going to be too over the top, never going to get too low, level-headed, even-keeled. And my God, no hate, man, but after Will Levis's frenetic up-and-down personality, which I really like, because look, I have a frenetic up-and-down personality, okay? But I would never tell you that I am a good guy to play quarterback. Never played quarterback, never should have played quarterback. Way too high-strung to play quarterback. I'm a crazy running back, crazy safety coming to hit somebody. Like, that's what I want to do. So, listen, I liked Will Levis's personality because it matched mine, quite honestly. But it's fair to say that's probably not the personality you want from your NFL quarterback. All right, I get it. But with that being said, it was still super awesome to see Cam Ward get the jersey. He looks great in number 1. It's going to be great. But then the bombshell really happened. Apparently, Warren Moon, on his way out from the introductory press conference, said in front of a ton of Titans media members, I'm less worried about giving my number to Cam Ward because the Titans are never wearing the Oilers throwbacks again. Whoa, what? They're never going to wear the throwbacks ever again? But then Warren Moon followed it up by saying that the Tennessee Titans are going to have new uniforms soon that will make it to where they don't need to wear the Oilers jerseys. Whoa, that's a true bombshell piece of information right there, folks. I'm going to dive into this more next week when I have time to really unpack it, but we had to talk about this. Guys, I know some of you hate when I do things like this. I don't really care. I'm doing it my way. All right. I take so much heat online in the comment section if I get anything wrong, if I'm off on an opinion, a guess that I have. I think it's going to rain tomorrow, and it doesn't. You guys crush me for it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to take my time and remind you when I get stuff right. Because you all love to let me know if I get anything wrong. Even if I am close to being wrong, you guys take the opportunity. So let me take this opportunity and tell you, I told you the Titans were going to get new jerseys. I called it in March when they came out and said that the Titans are no longer going to have the navy blue as their primary, and they're going to use their primary Titan blue color, the light blue color. I told you online on the show, guys, the Titans are going to get new jerseys. They're making this change because they're getting ready to transition from what we've seen the last few years since 2018 to a modern Houston Oilers look with the Tennessee Titans logo. So that's why they're making the blue their primary color from now on. Because when they get new jerseys in 2027, they're going to be more light blue. It's going to be a big focus on the light Titans blue. And it's going to have red accents instead of the dark blue accents. The Titans are going to go for a modern Houston Oilers look with their Tennessee Titans logos. It might be a complete redesign and they just go to the Houston Oilers logo and all of that in general, but I don't think that's what it is. But regardless of the information, the point I'm trying to make is I told you that's what was going to happen. And you know why? It's not because I have a ton of inside information from the team and I just knew. It's because sometimes, even though I'm on the outside of the building, I can look at what's happening and tell you, oh, this is what makes logical sense. And that's why you guys come to me, all right? That's why you're here. Because I can take all the information that you don't have time to pay attention to all day. I can bring it to you in 30 minutes every single day and keep you up to date. And I can take that information and make analysis and give you logical points as to what might happen. I can't predict the future, but that's the point. So regardless of my grandstanding and back padding, look, it's late on day 2 of the draft. I'm running on fumes. Regardless of all of that, this is incredible news for the Tennessee Titans. This is great. Think about what's about to happen, folks. Think about all the different dominoes that are about to fall. The Titans get Cam Ward as their franchise quarterback. The Titans get Mike Borgonzi from the Kansas City Chiefs, restructure their front office, new scouting system, grading system, all of that, blah, blah, blah. 2027, new stadium opens. Brand new state-of-the-art stadium for the Titans. Then they get new jerseys. I mean, it is about to be a prime time to be a Tennessee Titans fan. Cam Ward, new stadium, new jerseys, leaning into the Oilers colors. The light blue is the best color that the Titans have with the red accent. It goes so perfectly together. It's such a great color combination, the light blue and the red. I love it more than anything, and they're leaning into it more than they ever have before. Again, Cam Ward, new stadium, new jerseys. It's all happening, folks. Loved what the Titans did on day 2. A ton of great talent still available on day 3. Cannot wait to dive into all of it with you guys tomorrow. But that is going to do it for me today, folks. As always, I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and this was Locked On Titans.